Welcome to Millennium News, with your 24/7 sports news update. I am with you, Nathan Cheatwood. Now details on this time, January 15th, 2023. And if I didn't see you, Happy New Year. On to our first story. Trevor Lawrence's confidence. He somehow never wavered. Not after the first interception, or the second, or the third, or even the fourth. The generational quarterback simply delivered a generational comeback. The number one overall pick in the 2021 draft followed 4 interceptions with 4 touchdown passes, one of the most improbable turnarounds in NFL postseason history, and rallied the Jacksonville Jaguars to a 31-30 victory of the Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday night. At 1 point, wow. Lawrence engineered the winning drive, highlighted by Travis Etienne's 25-yard run on a 4th and 1 play, and put the Jaguars in position for Riley Patterson's 36-yard field goal on the final play. It capped a 27-point comeback, the largest in franchise history and the 3rd largest in playoff history. Wow. You couldn't write a crazier script, Lawrence said. We said in the locker room, that's kind of how our season's going. We're never out of the fight. I'm kind of speechless, honestly, just to see what belief can do and to see what a team believes in each other and what you can accomplish. Patterson's kick barely stayed inside the right upright, and set off a raucous celebration for a franchise that had won a combined 4 games over the previous 2 years. The Jaguars, who are 10-8, won their 6th consecutive game and 5th straight at home, all 5 in come-from-behind fashion. Nonetheless, no one could have seen this coming. Maybe not even Lawrence, but hey, he was steady hand in charge after the debacle of a first half. He finished 28 of 47 passing for 288 yards, a shocker considering the way he started. Lawrence was downright dreadful to begin Jacksonville's first playoff game since losing in the 2017 AFC title game. He became the 3rd quarterback in the Super Bowl era to throw 4 interceptions in the first half of a playoff game. Wow. Joining Detroit's Gary Danielson and Denver's Craig Morton. Wow. Still incredible athletes and incredible games. Now on to our next story. Justin Herbert. He sat in silence at his locker for roughly 15 minutes, staring into the distance for 15 minutes. He had taken off his cleats, but was still wearing most of his grass-stained uniform. He was playing hard. It was a defining scene for a team that was devastated by a collapse no one could have seen coming. And it made this much clear. Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers won't get over this loss, the 3rd largest blown lead in postseason history. He won't get over it anytime soon. The Chargers did little in the second half, allowing Trevor Lawrence to follow 4 interceptions with 4 touchdown passes and rally Jacksonville from a 27-0 deficit. 27-0 deficit. They lost 31-30 on Riley Patterson's 36-yard field goal on the final play. Obviously, it was a rough go for us, Herbert said. As an offense, We need to do more in the second half. And you know, that falls on us offensively and as a quarterback. I needed to perform better. I've got to give them more than 3 points in the second half, and so I feel horrible for the defense and for the incredible effort they put up there today. But got to be better as a team. Hey, overall, you have to be better as a team. Most will point to Lawrence's heroics as the reason for the 27-point comeback. He completed 24 of his final 31 passes for 258 yards with 4 touchdowns. He connected with Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, and Christian Kirk. And then he scored on a 2-point conversion that left the Jaguars, who are 10-8, down 30-28, and gave them a chance to win instead of a tie at the field goal. Wow. Even then, the Chargers, who are 10-8, did nothing to slow them down. Anytime you're up 27-7 at halftime, you've got 4 takeaways, and you end up winning the takeaway margin. 5-0. It's going to be a killer, Chargers coach Brandon Staley said. I'm hurting for everybody in that locker room. It's a special group of guys, and this is the toughest. It's the toughest way that you can lose in the playoffs, and certainly with the way we started the game. That's the team that I know that we're capable of being. And in the second half, we just didn't finish the game. It didn't help the cornerback, Michael Davis, who had left the game with a pectoral muscle injury that forced rookie Josh Taylor onto the field. Not surprisingly, the Jaguars picked on him. Wow. It also didn't help that the star pass rusher, Joey Bosa, lost his cool and picked up a second personal foul penalty. Amazing stories, but overall, amazing games all the time. Now on to our next story. Brock Purdy. He got flushed out of the pocket, spun back to the other direction, and found a wide open Elijah Mitchell for the score that put San Francisco in control for good. Purdy answered another test and delivered another sterling performance in a remarkable rookie season that began as the final pick in the NFL draft. Purdy threw 3 touchdown passes and ran for a 4th score in his playoff debut, leading the 49ers to a 41-23 victory over the Seattle Seahawks in a wild card game on Saturday. Once the game started, it was just 11 on 11. I have to do my job, get it to the guys in space, and go from there, Purdy said. We didn't make it more than what it was. It wasn't, oh my gosh, it's the playoffs, and we got to get all the tens. We just have to play our game, he said. Purdy picked up where he left off in the regular season for the 49ers, who are 14-4, and showed few signs of playoff jitters by winning his 6th straight since replacing an injured Jimmy Garoppolo. An injured Jimmy Garoppolo, remember that, early in a Week 13 over Miami. The Niners advanced to the divisional round where they will host either Minnesota, Tampa Bay, or Dallas next weekend. Purdy connected on a 3-yard pass to Christian McCaffrey in the first quarter, converted a 1-yard sneak in the third quarter, and a 7-yard touchdown pass to Mitchell early in the fourth to make it 31-17. The Niners broke it open though when Deebo Samuel took a short pass from Purdy and raced in for a 74-yard score with help from a downfield block by Brandon Ayuk. Purdy threw for 332 yards, the second most ever for a rookie in the playoffs, to Russell Wilson's 385 in a loss to Atlanta 10 years ago. And he became the first rookie quarterback ever to account for 4 touchdowns in a playoff game. The first rookie ever to account for 4 touchdowns in a playoff game. Let's give it to him. Now on to the next story. The rest of the NFL playoffs have a lot to live up to. Come on. They have a lot to live up to after Saturday's display. San Francisco rookie quarterback Brock Purdy, he nailed his postseason debut, leading the 49ers to a 41-23 win over the Seattle Seahawks. Then Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars pulled off a jaw-dropping 27-point comeback and a 31-30 stunner against the Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday night. Wow. 1 point. 1 point makes the difference, everybody. 1 point. The game continues with 3 more Sunday. Miami at Buffalo, Baltimore at Cincinnati, and the New York Giants at Minnesota. The opening weekend wraps up Monday night with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys. But it's going to be tough. I don't know. It's going to be tough to top Saturday night's barn burner. The Chargers built a 27-0 lead late in the second quarter after Lawrence threw 4 interceptions, including 3 by Asante Samuel. The second-year pro then responded by throwing 4 touchdown passes, and Riley Patterson kicked a 36-yard field goal as time expired for the win. A 36-yard field goal as time was expiring. Lawrence's heroics might have overshadowed Purdy's stellar playoff. His stellar playoff debut for the 49ers. The rookie completed 18 of 30 passes for 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions to win his 6th consecutive start. The 262nd and final pick of last spring's draft of Iowa State. Purdy's unlikely story started when he pushed into action after an injury in December to starter Jimmy Garoppolo. The Seahawks, they led 17-16 and kept things close through most of 3 quarters. But the 49ers poured in on the late. The number 1 overall seed in the AFC was claimed by Kansas City with its 31-13 win over Las Vegas in Week 18. The NFC's top spot was taken by Philadelphia, which beat the Giants 22-16. Giants lost 22-16. Those teams, they get the weekend off before playing the divisional round next weekend. At least all the teams get a day off. All of them are amazing athletes and amazing players. And now, a short break from the daily English sports news of Millennium News 24/7. Stay tuned.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you've been having fun. Welcome back to Millennium News Sports News Update. On this day, January 15th, I'm your host, Nathan Cheatwood. On to the next story. Damar Hamlin. He was visited with his teammates at the Bills facility on Saturday for the first time. This is a hard story. He was visited on Saturday for the first time since being discharged from a Buffalo hospital. 12 days after the safety went into cardiac arrest and needed to be resuscitated on the field during the game in Cincinnati. Bills linebacker Matt Milano posted a photo on his Instagram account of a smiling Hamlin. He was shaking hands with a teammate. A person with direct knowledge of Hamlin's schedule confirmed to the Associated Press the player's visit. The person spoke on the condition of anonymity because Hamlin has kept his schedule and recovery private. Hamlin was cleared to go home Wednesday after undergoing final tests at Buffalo's General Medical Center. His trip to meet with teammates comes the day before the Bills, who are 13-3, host the division rival Miami Dolphins, who are 9-8, in a wild card playoff game, heightening the possibility he might be healthy, if he's healthy enough to attend the game. The 24-year-old Hamlin continues what doctors have referred to as a remarkable recovery, since his heart stopped after being hit squarely in the chest by Bengals receiver T. Higgins in the first quarter of a since-canceled game at Cincinnati on January 2nd. Hamlin spent his first 2 days at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. He was under sedation and breathing through a ventilator. Upon being awakened, Hamlin showed no signs of neurological damage, and within 4 days of his arrival, was breathing on his own, as well as walking and talking. He first interacted with his teammates on January 6th, when Hamlin appeared by video conference from his hospital room. He flexed his muscles and spoke to them, saying, "Love you, boys." Hamlin live tweeted during the Bills' 35-23 season-closing win over New England on Sunday, and a day later was released from the Cincinnati hospital and transferred over to Buffalo. He is now continuing his rehabilitation with the Bills. Wow, what an amazing recovery. I saw that game, and just everyone was in shock at the moment. And the ambulance was there on the field. Both teams were there on the field holding prayer for him. Keep him in your prayers. Now on to our next story. Ja Morant. The answer was a slam dunk. His ferocious jam Saturday night was his best one yet. "Yeah, easy," he said, because of his difficulty when asked if it topped his rapidly expanding collection of sensational slams. "It's what everybody's been waiting for. I finally made it," he said. Morant's dunk came in the third quarter of the Memphis Grizzlies' 130-112 12 victory over the Indiana Pacers. He drove left into the middle of the lane, put the ball in his right hand, put his arm far back, and easily drawn over leaping Pacers big man Jalen Smith. Teammates all jumped off the bench in excitement, and reaction followed quickly on social media, with Morant admiring his work with his own tweet and warning to fellow players following the game. Hey, jump with me if you want to go viral, he wrote over a tweet from the NBA's account showing multiple angles of the dunk. Duncan, the number 2 pick in the 2019 draft, quickly emerged one of the NBA's highest flyers and has gone on to become one of his best players. Ja Morant is a great player. I've been following him. The 2020 Rookie of the Year was the first-time All-Star last season and was voted the winner of the Most Improved Player. The Most Improved Player. He would seem a shoo-in to win another award, the trophy for the Slam Dunk Contest, if he entered the event at the NBA's All-Star Weekend. Ja Morant is a star. Nobody can deny it. Let's all follow him. He's on the road to success. Okay, now on to our next story. Let's go. 2 swings were all it took for Hayden Buckley to become another face in a large crowd of contenders to a 2-shot lead Saturday in the Sony Open. On a day when there was an 8-way tie for the lead at that, for 1 point, Buckley made a pair of eagles on the back nine at Waiale that carried him to a second straight 6-under 64 and allowed him at least a little separation. One of them was a wedge from 133 yards that he thought he tugged to a left pin at number 10, which is the 3rd easiest hole on the course. Instead, it turned out perfectly. It was nice to see that, Buckley said. I did pull it a little bit. I wasn't sure where it was going to land. The other was among its best swing of the day, a 5-iron from 221 yards that rolled up to 2 feet on the front left pin on the par 5 18th hole. Par 5 18th hole. Consider that. Otherwise, it was a steady diet of pars and the occasional birdie. Of course. Excuse me. I mean, if you're going to do that, is an occasional birdie on a course where the fairways are running fast. We did exactly what we were trying to do and got away with 2 shots. Had 2 big eagles, Buckley said. If you know about golf, you know what an eagle is. Eagles are important. Our game plan, it stays the same. If we play well enough, that's great. If not, we just deal with it. He was at a 15-under 195 as Buckley goes for his first PGA Tour title in his 2nd full year. And he's not alone in that regard. He's not alone. And now, another short break on a daily English sports news update on Millennium News 24/7. I am your host, Nathan Cheatwood. Stay tuned.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back, everybody. You know I'm your host, Nathan Cheatwood, live from the South Bronx. South Bronx, hey. Welcome back to Millennium News 24/7 with your sports news update. Antoine Davis of Detroit Mercy. He set the NCAA record for career three-pointers on Saturday, hitting a career best 11 threes and scoring a season-high 41 points in the 87-75 win over Robert Morris. Davis shot 11 for 18 from long distance and was 15 for 26 overall. His 11 three-pointers has increased his career total to 513, eclipsing the previous record of 509 by Fletcher McGee of Wofford from 2014 to 2019. Davis entered the game chasing McGee and Oakland's Travis Bader, who is 504 threes from 2010 to 2014. Davis said his focus was on a much-needed win for Detroit Mercy, not the NCAA record. To be honest, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just playing, Davis said of his pursuit of his record. So once I hit like 5 or 6 in a row, I figured I was going to get it. It means everything. Another record for the history books. Another blessing. I'm just so thankful for it. Davis, who's a 6'1", fifth-year guard, had his 5th career game of 40 points, tied for 13th in school history. The 24-year-old Davis has 3,232 career points. Good for his NCAA history. He is 17 points away from second place and 435 points behind Pete Maravich's NCAA record of 3,667. Davis's 1,081 career field goals ranked 15th in NCAA history. Amazing athletes, amazing athletes. Now, on to our next story. Negativity. Negativity has dogged the Kentucky basketball program since its disappointing loss to South Carolina on Tuesday. Heading into Saturday's 63-56 win over number 5 Tennessee, the number 5 Tennessee Wildcats coach John Calipari did his best to insulate his players while absorbing as many bullets as possible. He absorbed as many bullets as possible himself. I haven't lost faith in any of these guys, he said. I've got a good team. Friday night, I collected all the players' cell phones and iPads and everything else. Wow. Antonio Reeves scored 18 points and Oscar Tshiebwe had 15 points and 13 rebounds to lead the Wildcats, who are 11-6, 2-3 in the Southeastern Conference, over the Volunteers. The victory ended a 25-game home win streak for Tennessee, who are 14-3, 4-1, that dated back to the end of the 2020-2021 season. Kentucky led 58-50 with a 3-minute and 28 seconds left in the game. 2 free throws by Santiago Vescovi and 2 buckets by Euros Plastic closed the gap to 2 With less than a minute to play, a Wildcat turnover gave Tennessee a shot to tie or take the lead. But Zakai Ziegler and Plavsic missed down the low. Both coaches made it a slugfest, said Calipari. Nobody backed down. The Wildcats showed the physical presence and dominated the Volunteers on the boards, 43-23. Tennessee came into the game leading the SEC in a rebounding margin, plus 9.94. Our front line's got to do a better job rebounding, said Tennessee coach Rick Barnes. On the defensive end, we have to get everyone involved. Everyone has to be involved. The Tennessee big man, Plavsic, who scored 19 points, was the only vote to match Kentucky's physicality. Calipari, he said the strategy was to focus on the Vols' perimeter play while letting Plavsic have his way. They can beat us with threes, said Calipari. They won't beat us with twos, though. C.J. Frederick scored 8 in a row and had 10 of his 13 points in the first half as Kentucky led at the break. They led at the break 33-26. Hard game both teams are playing. But Vescovi, who tweaked his shooting, his left shoulder in a collision that was early in the game, had 7 in the first half for Tennessee. He finished with 13 points, though. We had some uncontested looks at the rim, Barnes said. Point-blank layups. You've got to make them. Point-blank layups. Come on. You got to make those layups. Those are easy, man. Come on. These amazing athletes, though. Great games. Now on to our next story. Francesco Molinari. He raised aloft the Hero Cup in front of his jubilant Continental Europe teammates. Now he wants back for an even bigger team. He wants a bigger team event in the Gulf. You know what's that? The Ryder Cup. He's being held in his native Italy later this year. It's a great motivation for me, said Molinari, who captained Continental Europe to a 14.5-10.5 win over Britain and Ireland on Sunday, ending a week when European golfers got a taste of the match play. They got a taste of the pressure some of them will be facing in the Ryder Cup outside Rome coming September. The Ryder Cup is a long way away. There's a lot of golf to play, and I need to focus on my game, which is much better than it has been. Being in Rome will be incredible. Molinari, who led in front in Abu Dhabi, scoring 3.5 points for the week, tied for the most across the 4 sessions, and laying the platform in the Sunday singles by taking down Shane Lowry, who is the highest ranked player in the event, in the first match with a 3-2 win. Amazing game. Continental Europe, they started the day leading 8.5 to 6.5 and won the singles 6-4 with Adrian Meronk holding a 25 hold up. He held a 25-foot putt at number 18 to claim the clinching point. It was the Polish player's only one of the week. The renewal of the competition, who are formerly called the Sev Trophy, gave European Ryder Cup captain Luke Donald a chance to assess a new generation of players. given that a number of veterans like Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, and Sergio Garcia are likely to be absent in Rome because they play in the Saudi-funded LIV Golf League. Wow. Let's give it up for them. Now on to our next story. Loic Mellard. He led the first run of a World Cup slalom on Sunday in what shaped up as another Switzerland-Norway duel. Millard, who was 0.45 seconds faster than Henrik Kristoffersen, whose Norwegian teammates Lucas Brathen, he was third. The World Cup slalom standing leader was 0.48 seconds to make up in the second run in the afternoon. Norway is aiming to sweep the three-race weekend at Wengen, however you pronounce it, as the team did in 2016, after Alexander Amat Kilde won in the downhill and Super G ahead of Swiss runners-up against the Swiss Gs ahead of the runners-up. A Norway team coach, he will set the second leg gates after a British design run helped create big-time gaps in the standings. The racers sighted on the tight and twisting track on the famously slipped Wengen Hill. Combined, it was steep. The steep Wengen Hill, it was combined with soft snow and an unseasonably warm winter for the difficulty to post a fast time. Only 5 racers were within 1.6 seconds of Mellard, and all were among the high-ranked first 8 starters. Britain's Dave Riding was 3 minutes and 35 seconds back in 14th place. Racers placed in the top 20 times, they trailed the leader by more than 4 seconds. An enormous gap in World Cup skiing. That's an enormous gap. When you ski, 4 seconds is all it takes. 1 second is all it takes. Mellard, he's a consistent performer in slalom, including 4th behind Brathen and nearby Albedobin last Sunday. Though he never won a race in the discipline. Let's all give it up for all these amazing athletes, all these players that I just announced. And now this was in the Daily News Sports Update of Millennium News 24/7. I am your host, Nathan Cheatwood. Log in to get the latest news on all of our social networking sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is Millennium News 24. Also, our YouTube channel is News Channel M24. We have viewers now on both networks, broadcasting both Android and iOS devices. We are on Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, also all smart TV platforms. Look up on our store and download it, Millennium TV 24, and catch our latest news and views. Our Millennium TV apps are Millennium TV USA on Android and the Millennium News Google. Type us on your browser at www.millenniumnews24.com and stay with us, Millennium News 24. And we all thank you. Peace.